Hey, what's up YouTube? Balder here, and I'm playing some more Air Hauler 2. So, there's something that I found out that was kind of annoying but kind of interesting at the same time. So if we go over to finances, you'll notice that day through day, my income or my revenue just slowly dissipates. And, well, there is a reason for that. And the reason is that this game constantly plays, even when you're not around, so that is something to take into consideration. I don't know if you can change that in the options, but that is what I found. So, with that in mind, I guess I need to make some money that was lost, don't you think? It looks like I'm still at a net positive, which is a good thing, so I'm gonna go to my fleet. Fleet is right there. Actually, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go to jobs. Um, there That is kind of weird, because there should be some, for some reason, there's a Cessna Grand Caravan here and a Cessna Grand Caravan here, and apparently I am in Eugene, Oregon. I do not know why, but I flew all the way to Salt Lake, so I have no clue as to why that's happening. Oh well. Either way, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to see what is the most pricey. So I'm going to go to Salt Lake to KMYL. Ooh, I think so. I will accept that job. Lots of DVD players. Oh, I think so. I'm going to fly. It expires in a day, so let's do this. Load it. Yes. Alright, all's loaded. Going to, where is KYML? Anyway. It's in Idaho. I could put a little bit of fuel there. There we go. And, gate 3 is probably going to be in the, airliner side, so I'm gonna go into the, ramp gate small. I think ramp gate small is, the one that I used to fly out to, so I'm gonna go ahead and fly that. And of course, I am going to have to hit accept for that, and we are good. Let's fly this shit, and we'll get started. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get started. Taxi and takeoff. Sounds good to me. By the way, someone in the comments section, I forgot whom, mentioned that the engine ignition should be off. It's good to know. I don't understand why the ignition switch stays on with the auto start, but it somehow does, so that is something I did not know. I thought you just left it on, but I guess I was incorrect about that, which is fine. It's good when people correct me. I don't know everything, as you could no doubt tell. Let's go ahead, get the tower clearance.
Salt Lake Tower, landmark 1123, ready for IFR departure. Runway
Strobe's
35.
landing's on.
Landmark 1123, cleared for takeoff. Runway 35. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 35. Landmark 1123.
Alright, let's go ahead and take off. Once we do, everything shall be good. Alright, I forgot. I'm not in some crappy airport, or airstrip, or airfield. I can go ahead and just roll into a takeoff, which is quite nice. I don't know why, but for some reason this game likes you to go to airports that you shouldn't be going to, which is kind of annoying, but I'll live. Yes, I did. You guys can pretend that didn't happen, right? Please. Pretty please. That's fine. I make mistakes. No problem admitting that. Let's go ahead and fly to my destination, though. Which should be to the north, right? Yeah. I shouldn't be flying over a runway like this. What the?
Contact Salt Lake departure on 121.1.
I don't even know.
121.1. Landmark 1123. Salt Lake departure. Landmark 1123 is at 5,000. Climbing 8,000. Landmark 1123. Salt Lake departure. Roger. Altimeter 299.5. Landmark 1123. Turn right heading 315. Proceed on course. Climb and maintain 8,000.
Sounds good to me.
315. Proceed on course. Climb and maintain 8,000. Landmark 1123.
In fact, I'm just gonna hit this autopilot switch right there, or use a Z key. Alright, so now I'm landing. Strangely enough, I totally forgot to record, so this is actually a pre-recording of the landing that I did. But I got some information. So, McCall Municipal Airport is the name of that place, and apparently McCall, Idaho is a resort town. I never knew that. From the looks of it coming in, it seems quite like a farming community, which isn't bad. But considering that there's a lake there, I can kind of understand why it's a resort. And it's a year-round resort, too. Probably good with skiing and whatnot. But yeah, I'm in final approach. There was... As always, I tended to go too low in my approach, so I needed to pick up some altitude, or stop descending, I should say. But for the most part, this is pretty much your run-of-the-mill landing. There's a little bit of wind shear going on. Oh well, nothing too big. But as you can see right here, I started to increase my thrust just to prevent myself from descending, because I clearly was descending at that point. And at that point, it's like, oh, alright, now we're good on the glide slope. Yeah, the biggest thing is lining up your approach altitude-wise. Everything else is kind of secondary to me. I will say, though, that the landing wasn't spectacular, but, you know, it wasn't a terrible landing either. A terrible landing would be one where damage occurs, but that'd still be a good landing if you walk away from it, though. I follow, what the hell was that? I just saw a little green dot. But anyway, I follow Chuck Yeager's quotes like the Bible. He is my savior, my messiah, the inspiration that I use for aviation and whatnot. But enough about him. I'm just gonna go ahead and land into McCall. And yeah, not much really to say. Pretty run-of-the-mill, but I have to say I really want to go here someday, because this looks like one of those resort well, obviously it is a resort town, but there's probably so much hiking in very lush, dense forests, and I would love to see that. And okay, the landing was okay, just okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Alright, I can go with that. So far, there hasn't been a "you're fired" that has popped up yet. Yeah, pretty average landing. I was pretty much going to taxi all the way to parking, because with Air Hauler 2, you need to shut off the engines before you unload anything. You can't just land and say, hey, everything's good to go. Which is a little bit unfortunate, and I find it weird that an airport like this is big enough or is big enough, but doesn't have a control tower. I don't know why. It is a municipal airport. Municipal meaning that only small planes come in there. You won't see any airliners or anything like that. But there are many municipal airports that do, in fact, have a control tower, and this seems to be big enough to warrant one. At least from what I can see. This would definitely be Class D airspace in the least, but I guess not? Either way, just gonna taxi to parking, turn this off, and everything will be good to go. So far, I'm starting to like the Cessna Grand Caravan more and more, but I also found out how to import aircraft from my... what was it? I learned how to import aircraft from my library because I am a modder. I do have several modded aircraft. I decided to mod one of the Caronado aircraft, much like this, except the performance is much, much greater. The way I have landed, I have parked, I have turned off the engines, so I'm gonna go ahead, or my past self is gonna go ahead and escape this mission. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and finish the flight monitoring, get the results. Oh yeah, I should probably unload it first. There we go, job completed. Finish the monitoring. Landing was all good. Took about 2 hours. No damage, anything like that. Oh, wait. Yeah, it was still kind of a tailwind, but it was mostly just a crosswind. But all is good. All worked out. And now let's take a look at our finances. I made 24,000, so about a monthly, well, about a third from what I need to compensate for a whole month of doing absolutely nothing, but hey, that's just how the game goes. You either work or you don't. And if you don't work, you don't get paid. But that is Air Hauler 2. It's been updated. I haven't seen the update just yet, but hopefully I'll see it again. By the way, if anybody knows how to make liveries for aircraft, go ahead and contact me via email. I'd be more than happy to compensate you for it as well for the design. I'm looking for something Nordic, like, Viking symbols and whatnot. You know, the weird type of symbols that they came up with. If you know how to make something like that, and you can make liveries for me, then please go ahead and email me. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and call it. So like and favorite this video and subscribe. You guys have a nice day.